Fabric lovers, I'm sure you've heard that JoAnn Fabric Stores is closing. So where do we shop now?
Gossip, rumors, panic in the streets.
Well, don't panic. I'm going to show you some hidden gems. The local hidden gems from all around the country. Beep, beep. In this video, I'm going to share with you the best places to score amazing fabrics and take you on a tour of some incredible fabric stores, all from my Sew on the Road adventures across the country and even Europe. So let's dive in and keep our sewing dreams alive.
Just a little shopping.
For over 80 years, JoAnn's has been the cornerstone for quilters, DIY, enthusiasts, fashion sewers, crafters, chain retailer store that we could always go to and know we were going to find what we're looking for. I even worked for JoAnn's. Well, actually, I worked for House of Fabrics back in the 80s, and it turned into JoAnn's later. So I was like, wow, what a fun fabric store. I never made any money there because I would buy everything, but yeah, it wasn't good, so I had to quit. Anyway.
Yeah, that bites.
But now this beloved store even has a Facebook page about JoAnn's. What are they gonna do? They're closing all 800 stores. At first, I think they were gonna keep their supermarkets, which were so cool, like huge two-story buildings. I know there's one in LA that I went to. It was just huge, and I loved it in there. It was like, it had music going, and just so nice and fun to shop in. And I think that's even closing. So I guess all their stores, they weren't going to do that at first, but then they turned around and did that. I don't know.
The old bait and switch.
Well, we're going to have to change the way we shop, right? There are so many gems across the country of fabric stores. You just have to get in and you have to Google fabric stores and then also craft stores and kind of change your wording to find out what's local near you, because I've been doing a lot of Sew on the Road videos and people keep chiming in saying, I live near here and I didn't know this was here. So all is not lost. We will find a way.
These are confusing times, but we will find a way through them.
To shop for fabric. The stores are out there, and if anybody wants to create a store, please do it. We need some fabric stores. And for us shoppers, we need to purchase fabric from these stores to keep them in business.
I'm going to do a little shopping.
Don't go online so much. There are fabric stores online, but I really haven't been able to do that much. Like if I know what a fabric is, like if I wanted silk charmeuse, I could go and order it online. But sometimes, I don't know, even silk charmeuses, some will be softer than the others. I think fabric, you just really need to touch it. So that's why this is such a bad thing.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah. So do you prefer shopping for fabric in the store?
What a question.
But JoAnn's also used to have a lot more fashion fabrics, and then they really went more quilting, and which is good, or a lot more cottons, but I think you can make a lot of fashion pieces out of cotton. I do a lot of them. And they went to more, crafting thing. I think they just got too much crafting stuff when you have Michaels for crafting, and they would have just stuck to the fabric. I don't know, too much diversity. What are we gonna do? Let's find some fabric stores that we love.
But first, a little history.
So JoAnn's was founded in 1943 by a German couple. They were immigrants. And that little store in Cleveland, Ohio grew into a national chain. So after the war, people were starting to nest and then create things for their homes. So it grew into a big national chain. So now JoAnn's closure is part of a bigger trend impacting brick and mortar retailers. It's like a retail apocalypse.
I think the word we're looking for is apocalypse.
Where numerous chains have struggled to adapt to changing consumer behaviors. But fear not, fabric lovers. We can still buy fabric. There are numerous other avenues to explore fabric quality and supplies.
Oh, yay!
Have you seen my Sew on the Road series? It has taken me to some incredible places and fabric stores and even museum exhibits and all across the country and even Europe.
Actually, I used to dream about going to Europe.
So let's revisit a few of these gems. Yay! So I printed out my playlist called Sew on the Road. It said I had 29 videos, but there's a few little pop-ups in here. I don't know what they are. I have to check into that. So I started this Sew on the Road series with a video I called My Craftcation, where a friend of mine, we got together and had our own little mini sewing retreat. 3 days of just sewing. So we did it in my backyard, and I live on the lake, so we had our own little mini retreat. So you might want to check that one out. We ended up going to JoAnn's, and then we went to Hobby Lobby. So there's still Hobby Lobby that has fabric, and they'll probably up their game a little bit so we can get some basic supplies there.
Look, I think it's great you found yourself a little hobby.
And they've got some good basic fabrics. They also have batiks there. Sometimes they're hidden. I love batik cottons. I just love the prints. They're so pretty. And then they have the watercolor type cottons. I like to work with woven fabric, so Hobby Lobby is going to be okay for me. So on this list, I went to Chicago. Vogue Fabrics. Wow. Now Vogue Fabrics is really amazing. You can sign up for this catalog. They'll send you, I think, 5 a year. It's like $30. And they have all the swatches in here. You glue down the swatches. My assistant Sophie, they come in a package. She loves to glue these down into the booklets. And so I give them to her, and she goes, she's a Virgo. She loves to do organizing and all, but it's wonderful. But just, oh my gosh. So they have all these fabrics. So this is going to be a really great resource. So check out Vogue Fabrics. I believe they're Vogue Fabrics store, and I think you can go to support at Vogue Fabric stores. They're in Evanston, Illinois, close to Chicago. So we were in Chicago, and we just took the metro up there.
So, what's next?
On an adventure to Denver, Colorado. Elfried's in Boulder, Colorado. Oh, that's a gem. Really couture fabrics. The woman, where is she from? Austria? Vienna? Elfried, that's her name. She's named it after the store. And I had been there about 10 years ago, and I remember going there and like, oh my gosh, this fabric store is amazing. So you got to take a look at that video, and wow, do a little pre-shopping before you go. But take an adventure, right? Go to Denver. I think there were 4 other stores I went around there. So they have, every city they have some really good stores. One place I really found a gem of stores was my old hometown, was Phoenix, Arizona. Actually in Glendale, I think I found them on, I went to Prescott in Arizona. I had to do 2 videos of it. Prescott, Arizona had some nice little quilting shops that have really pretty fabrics. And then they have, in Arizona, they have SAS Fabrics. There's 3 or 4 or 5 of them. They're big stores, and oh my gosh, you got to check those out. And they had the 35th Avenue Fabrics, huge store. They have everything there. Oh my gosh, I love going to that store. So whenever I go back, I go to that store. Also on my list is Winston-Salem. These videos just came out. I'm in Mooresville, North Carolina, which is near Charlotte. And Charlotte doesn't have too many fabric stores. I'm going to have to go do a little more research. But Winston-Salem has some amazing fabric stores. Village Fabric Shops. And then up a little bit further up in Raleigh. And I think I did a whole Raleigh. Actually, I just went to Raleigh again. I'm going to be putting out that video again because I found some more. There's Freeman's. And then Mulberry Silks is beautiful. I also have Mulberry Silks in one of my other videos here. That is just like Elfried's, just couture, beautiful fabrics. So if you're a fashion sewer, up your game a bit and buy some beautiful fabric. Man, you can make the simplest garment, and with the beautiful fabric, it looks like a couture piece, right?
I'm not putting on one other thing until you're all in couture.
Then we have Atlanta, Georgia. Fine fabrics there. City block. Several. One of them, I think they own 2 stores. I went to one, and then there's a few other fabric stores in there. Oh, they had some beautiful, aisles and aisles of silks. And also, what I loved about that fabric store in Atlanta, they had an aisle of just silks, and then everything was $9.99. It's probably $12.99 now, but I was like, what? $9.99 a yard? Like silk charmeuse or printed silks, silk georgettes. Those are generally $30 a yard. And I was, oh my gosh, Atlanta's a 4-hour drive for me, and just make an adventure of it. Just go and, buy some fabrics, because we love to shop for fabrics. Making it an adventure. It doesn't have to be in your backyard, right? And then I also have fabric stores in Rome. There were so many beautiful fabric stores there. I had to have a 2-part series. And when I went to Florence, there's one in here in Florence, Italy. Actually, where did that one go? I don't see it here. But I went to some fabric stores in Florence, Italy. And then I just went to Portugal. That video will be coming out soon. Portugal didn't have a lot of beautiful fabric stores. They have a lot of cottons. There was one fabric store I loved there, and they were really welcoming, and they had a huge assortment. I'll put it in the video. I can't remember the name of it. right off my head. And then I spent a lot of time in New York. So I have a fabric store in Brooklyn all by itself, because there was a lot of fun little fabric stores in Brooklyn. There's little jobber type stores. And then Islip, which is on Long Island, they have a lot of quilting stores in Islip. I didn't see any huge fabric stores. And New York City just has a ton of them. And they're clustered in little areas. I have a new video coming out on New York also. For my last trip there, I went to Goldberg's. That was another couture store with beautiful fabric. On the pricier side, and beautiful fabric costs money, and if you make the rosy skirt or simple skirts, you don't need much of it, like a yard. That's all you need. Then we went to Las Vegas. So they had an older store there, Hetty's. And when I say older, it's been there a long time. So another gem of a fabric store. Mood fabric stores, of course, in LA and New York, but the Mood in LA is a huge store. Oh my gosh, and you can find anything you want there. Oh my gosh. And then I went to South Carolina and Hilton Head. I need to go discover South Carolina some more. Like there's Columbia and all that, so I'll bring that video to you soon. And then of course I have more on New York. So we have Mood fabric stores in New York, and then the Fashion District, there's a ton there. And now I'm heading off next week to London and then to Paris.
Trendy travelers tend to talk of London, Paris.
I'll do some fabric shopping there. I'm actually staying in an Airbnb in Paris on this one street, Des Genoux or something. And there's fabric stores, like the apartment is above a fabric store. And I didn't really plan it that way, but I was like investigating where I'm staying. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I wanted to be kind of in this, there's a couple clusters there in Paris. And I was like, I'm actually on the whole street right there, so all I gotta do is do. And then I get in on a Sunday, and all these fabric stores are closed on Sundays, but I have a little bit of time on Monday and Tuesday. And then London, there is the Gold Hawk Fabrics street, and then there's a whole nother cluster of them. So they're like in clusters, which is good, so you can just bop in and out of fabric stores. So take a look at all my Sew in the Road videos and do a little pre-shopping and make an adventure of fabric shopping.
Who's up for an adventure?
While saying goodbye to JoAnn Fabrics is bittersweet, the world of fabric and crafting is vast and vibrant. Let's embrace this change as a chance to explore new sources of inspiration and keep our creative passions alive. So if I came to your town, what fabric store would you take me shopping to? So for more fabric store adventures and sewing adventures and even some museum exhibits, take a look at my Sew on the Road series. And I hope to see you in a fabric store, or at least the next video. And really important, leave me a comment below and let me know if there's any fabric stores that I need to come check out in your town. I'll see ya in the next video.